well, in terms of the, the AFP and our security forces are all part of the, in fact, they're part of the steering committee for the National Action Agenda on Women, Peace and Security. So, in fact, maybe I may give you some advance notice that the AFP is most likely going to be issuing a policy on women's that will address women's issues in the military within the next several months. They have been very faithful members of the National Steering Committee on the National Action Plan. So it fits in quite well. Every occasion like this helps to highlight, helps to deepen our understanding of the issues of women in armed conflict, and this will certainly be fed back to them. As far as the Bangsamoro Basic Law, as was mentioned, there are in fact specific provisions in the CAP on women which should be reflected in the law. So they all come together. They're helping to give us a very good platform, including a legal framework and the legal mandate to make sure that women's issues and their participation in addressing armed conflict is at the forefront of the agenda of government.
So we'll be actually sharing this knowledge with our fellow delegates?
Oh yes.
Pending the passage of the law, what current measures do you already have in place now that there are still displaced women and children?
Yeah, that's in the National Action Agenda.
Okay.
And our very first, some of our very first programs in Pamana, for example, address the issues of internal displacement. And if you will look at the action agenda, just as an example, one of the action agenda under the DSWD agency, because each agency, the way we work it, is each agency addresses, looks at, picks around three issues that they feel will make a real difference. One of these is the women-friendly spaces in our evacuation centers by DSWD. So that's already operational in some of our evacuation centers. I'm just not so sure which one. But in terms of policy, every evacuation center, and this will apply not only to armed conflict but also to natural disasters, that there is every effort to put in a facility where women will feel safe.
How big of an urgency is the passage of the law in terms of providing better protection to women in conflict situations?
Well, the law will put in place the new political entity, and that will serve as the foundation for that all the kind of governance that we hope will bring about lasting peace and development in the region.
So you will, I think, well, there are glimpses of this already in the CAP, no? That in the structure of government, you are making sure that there will be women in the Bangsamoro Assembly, for example. That will be guaranteed. That will be spelled out now in the law. It will become what was a political commitment will become a legal requirement.
Do you think the time is right to have a female leader in the future Bangsamoro?
The time is always ripe. The time is always ripe. In fact, you've had women candidates. Maybe the thing to do is to have more preparation, more help in terms of a political campaign.
Would you encourage a female leader come 2016?
Well, I certainly women's meaningful political participation, and we hope that some women will see that as their meaningful political participation. I think the Bangsamoro needs to have a choice which will include a woman.
That's right. And the fact that you will have a ministerial form of government means that there's a very good window for women to put up their political parties and seek positions in this government.
Sorry, ma'am, talking about the BBL. Ano na status ng BBL natin? What's the status of the BBL?
There are discussions already on the process. You know, finesse talaga, because we also don't want just to submit. We want that when it is submitted, as much of the preparation also in Congress. I think we can say that there would be an announcement soon.
But there's
official.
still time. That there's still time, you think?
To pass the law by within the timetable. Oh yes. Kasi this time when people were saying saan yung batas, the reality is things have been moving, but not in the public sphere. There have been lots of discussions. The two houses of Congress are so ripe for it. It's now a matter now of the decisions of timing, of should this be a time of submission where everyone is already on board and not just receiving. You don't have just a recipient of the law, but there could have been some work already together. Final decisions. Well, a lot of hard work. Kung yun ang ibig mo sabihin, that one does not diminish. So, a lot of hard work always means you can't rest yet.
And patience. Because if we didn't have patience, we wouldn't get where we are now. Yes. Konti na lang.
Oh yeah, women have always been more patient.
Do you think you can submit it by next week before Congress adjourns?
Siguro the question now is not so much the when but the how. It's a very difficult legal document. Kita mo naman, just imagine the cab and how much time it took. Now you're going to put that into legal form. Hindi naman yan a matter lang of the cab was written as a political agreement. When you do it into law, you have to look at ano yung law na mababangga, because otherwise, all of that debate will have to be done. And knowing the president, and because this is his commitment, every line there, he knows in the end he's going to lead the campaign to get this passed. So,
Ma'am, one of the major concerns really constitutionality of the provisions. Is it where, doon po ba nagtatagal? Is that where?
No naman. It's Siyempre, that's always part of the paradigm. Is that the one that caused the delay? No. It's, itong matter of imagining what this political agreement will mean. When you put it legally into operation, that is really something that's going to work. As you can imagine, there may be different imaginations of how that could happen. So, kailangan ng OP, tignan yan. Ito ba yung pinakamahusay sa tingin ng and the president is also, and those with him, he's also a legislator. He knows the sorts of questions that are asked. So you also want to make sure na the president does not, tignan mo yung si presidente, napakamapili ng, he does not use certifying as urgent. He does not use that loosely.
So, Ma'am, so we can expect an announcement sometimes?
I'm almost sure of it.
Will it be...
Because we don't want people not knowing, especially magre-recess ang
Possible ba, Ma'am, na during the conference in Mindanao, in Cotabato, this Friday, Saturday?
Hindi ako mag-a-announce, Office of the Press. Ano na to? Kung ako lang yan, political, ano pa yan? Ang trabaho ng OPAP was the political, the negotiation for the negotiated political settlement.
Right.
Itong the President certifying to Congress, ano yan?
It's the president.
Malacanang yan, Malacanang. Or people who speak from Malacanang, not me.
Ma'am, the call of the MILF is to keep the law as is. Also some important...
Actually, no, that is not their call. It was very clear from the start that they would do their work, but they also said, we want that the president would have seen it. Kasi yung sinabit nila hindi pa nakita ng presidente. They always said the president has to see it. The president has to approve. That was clear. So wala yang Siyempre on the ground, may some would like. But I've told them in my discussions with them, I've told them, you should talk to those who are saying dapat kunin na lang ng presidente at kasi you want this is an important law. I certainly want it to be debated rigorously. I want it so that when it is passed, people will know. Dumaan yan sa proseso, lahat na nang pwedeng itanong, tinanong na. Hindi sasabihin na pumasa lang naman yan dahil tinulak ni Pinoy. Kung hindi, we want this law to have many defenders. We want this law to have many people pushing for its implementation. Hindi yung batas lang na kagaya ng mga renaming at mga ganyan. Na sige na, pumirma ka na lang. Hindi, wala naman kaming pakialam dyan. Ang sinasabi nga natin, hindi lahat tayo may pakialam dito. So I told them, explain to them. Kung ganyan ang ginawa natin, ibig sabihin we don't think it's an important law. But no, we think it is an important law. Congress knows it's an important law. It needs to go through a process that no one will question. That this is the best possible law that could have come out.
How is the coordination between OP and BTC and as well as the Hispanos when it comes to the revision?
More now the OP. This is now OP and BTC. But syempre, we're part of the OPAP is part of the Office of the President. Pero as Executive Secretary ang nag-head ng.
There are certain concerns that it might be an extension of negotiations.
Yeah, we certainly don't want that. And as far as I can hear from the BTC, the MILF of the BTC, is that they understand that this is not new negotiations. And that certainly, because we are asking that the President certify this as urgent, hindi pwedeng hindi natignan ng Pangulo ito. Alam nila yan. And if you talk to the leadership. So, we hope you will just help to explain na ano yan. Siyempre, kasi kung hindi mo alam ang nangyayari, pero sa totoo lang, marami nang nangyari. Meron ng mga ilang pag-uusap.
May meeting daw yung MILF at MNLF. Are you aware sa agenda?
Yun ang alam namin. We have heard from both sides that they have been invited for the with the Bangsamoro Coordinating Forum, that kung babasahin niyo yung mga resolutions ng OIC, has always mentioned that they were pushing this initiative of a Bangsamoro Coordinating Forum para nag-uusap yung dalawang fronts.
Which can be only a good thing, you think?
Oh yes. It's good for them to talk, and even if they don't agree on everything, it's good for them to get some platform where they will respect their differences, and hopefully the unity will be that it is the welfare of the Bangsamoro that is important, and that each front will do their part to ensure that better future for the Bangsamoro. In the details, I am sure, as in every democratic process, hindi yan 100% magkakasundo. Pero mabuti may platform kasi right now wala. Kami, we have a platform with the MI. We have a platform with some of the MN. Wala silang platform.